New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Why, hello there. It's me, yes, me, Bonnie Gonzalez, your doula for grief. And I should tell you a little bit about me before we just launch into the show. So I am a grief coach. I am also a religious science practitioner. I'm a registered nurse, and I am a certified grief educator and licensed soul collage facilitator. And most importantly, I am a human being right here on the planet with you, navigating all that's going on right along with you and beside you. So with that said, that's who I am. And before we really what I want you to do is get settled in. We want to get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever does it for you this time of the day or whenever you're joining me. Make yourself comfortable. And I just want you to sit back and make this show for and about you. If you would like or would love it if you would drop a question or a comment. Even if you're viewing this when we're no longer live, if you leave a comment, I will get it and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions that you may have. So let's just take a deep breath and let's just get started. Before I go any further, I want to dedicate this program honoring my grandson, who is on the other side of the veil. Today would be his 10th birthday, or this is his 10th heavenly birthday. I love that thought, his 10th heavenly birthday. And his name is Oliver Cunningham. So I would just like to honor Oliver with this candle. And I would like to thank Oliver for showing me what unconditional love looks and feels like. It's amazing how he has taught me that I could love just the idea of him. And I know that love never dies. And today I'm remembering my little sweet Oliver with more love than pain. So I'm just going to honor his spirit for just 1 minute. And please join in with me with doing that. And if you have someone whose name you would like to honor during this 1 minute, please speak it out. Speak it out loud or just say it in your mind. So Oliver Cunningham, I love you. You're gone, but never forgotten. Thank you so much for respecting and honoring my sweet Oliver. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, the theme of the show today is that it's going to be all month moving from grief to grace. And I just want to take a minute to say that, I talk about grief needs to be validated, grief needs to be shared, and grief needs to be heard. So I just want to share my own personal grief and grieving through these holidays and moving through these holidays. I am, and I'm sure so many of you can share this. So many of you can share in with me in this. It seems like starting in November, it started a whole unraveling of grief for my family. On November 22nd, my brother-in-law, who made his transition 8 years ago, his heavenly birthday was November 22nd. And then moving into Thanksgiving, I am not with my family back in the US. Oh, and I really wanted to be there. And I had just had tremendous grief pains over Thanksgiving, of that yearning to be with people that I know and love, and yearning to be with the tradition that I know, even with all its craziness. You know, we talk about, oh my gosh, family drama, and we have to go and be at grandma's and hear Aunt Susie and Uncle Joe and all those crazy times that we just sometimes can dread. Well, I was looking forward. I would have loved to even have been in the midst of crazy times, because that's what I know too, that is a sense of familiar. So I was yearning. I was just yearning to be with close family on Thanksgiving Day, but that was not to be. And then today, December 1st, is my grandson Oliver's birthday, and he was only with us in this heavenly plane, on this earthly plane, for 2 short hours. So his passing was really brief and really rapid, and just a very painful time, as you can imagine. And then I moved forward into December. My sister made her transition on December 17th. So that's another loss and another grieving point, a big grief area. That's my sister, my oldest sister. And then my mother had her birthday on December 25th, on Christmas Day. So, wow, you talk about moving from grief to grace. That is a lot to take in. Even when I sit back, and when I was just making my notes for the show, I thought, wow, that's a lot to ask anyone to just, to be cavalier about it. I can't be. And, there are so many different types of grief. There are different types of grief. There's anticipatory grief. There's collective grief. There's cumulative grief. There's something referred to as disenfranchised grief. And all of those do bring about emotional responses. Anticipatory grief is when you're anticipating the loss of a loved one, or the loss of something, the loss of a job, loss of a home, a loss of knowing that you have a friend that's moving away, anticipating a divorce. All of those situations can be considered anticipatory grief. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my phone today. It's usually off, but it's deciding not to be right now. So all of those are responses. I mean, our emotions that come up around anticipatory grief. That is in response to that loss that we're anticipating. And when I talked about collective grief, we can all share in that right now. Gosh, the whole world seems to be topsy-turvy, and different groups of people are angry and upset and being treated unjustly and unfairly, which definitely causes us grief. What about a world that we imagine that works for everyone, and where everyone is treated justly and fairly? So that collective grief, and collective grief also can be natural disasters that happen, that leave whole communities wiped out and devastated. So we have that grief also. So, and then cumulative grief, what I just described, one hit after another, where it seems like, oh my gosh, can I just get my breath? Can I catch my breath from one before I go on to the next? And so that's why it's so important that we talk about this today, because the holidays really do intensify whatever losses you may have. This time of the year is a time that most of us spend time reminiscing, and maybe not just reminiscing, but reviewing this past year, reviewing what's gone before, and were our hopes and dreams met, were what we anticipated for the new year. Was that a reality, or is there some loss there, that you really thought this was going to be the year that you moved into that new home that you'd been planning to buy, but suddenly the prices of homes are outrageous, and maybe having to give up on that dream for now? That can be, yes, that can put you into grief, because that's a loss. Like, wow, I really wanted to have that, be it a thing or losing a loved one. You really wanted to have that loved one with you this holiday. So I just want you to know that grief can just show up in so many different forms, that it may take a minute for you to realize what you're in grief around, because sometimes it doesn't always just show up as sadness and tense sadness or feeling down. I just, for Thanksgiving, for instance, I really wanted to be with my family. And since I couldn't be with my family, I'm here in Mexico. I thought, well, I could just recreate the Thanksgiving dinner here, but that didn't happen. Didn't get a turkey in time, or couldn't find a turkey in time to make that happen. And then we did have a sweet invitation from a Venezuelan family here in Mexico. And I just thought, how kind and loving. But I knew they weren't going to have turkey. That was part of my tradition. But what I did do, moving from that grief to grace, I thought, I will go. And yes, I'm in a bit of a funk, a bit of a snit about not having what I want to have. Those two-year-olds, being a 2-year-old, I want what I want when I want it. And I wanted my turkey and trimmings. And so since I couldn't have that, I thought, I'll just be in the moment and just enjoy a new culture, see what it is that the Venezuelans do for Thanksgiving. But mind you, Venezuela does not have Thanksgiving. That is an American, that is definitely American holiday. But they were willing to cook and invite us over. And it was just, I couldn't get over how interested they were in American holiday traditions. And they wanted to hear all about it. Someone wanted to know, oh, do you know how to make gravy? You would have thought I was going to give the codes to the nuclear bombs. Everybody was hanging on edge to hear how gravy is made. So I was able to step into the moment. That's how I went from grief to grace. Grace is by stepping into the moment and being present to the moment. And that is not to say, I don't want you to think by any stretch of the imagination that I was just, I'm going to be in the moment and clicking my heels and, skipping down a yellow brick road. It's like, no, I did have my sadness, and I was able to express it. I was telling my husband, I said, I am just sad that I'm not with my family over the holiday. I'm just sad that I didn't get to create a Thanksgiving meal. And it didn't, and he was not in any way condescending, like, oh, get over that, or we're going out to dinner anyway. He was able to validate my grief. And that's what I said when we started the show, that grief, there's 3 pillars of grief that need to be touched on to begin our healing journey from grief. And that is, as I said, grief needs to be heard, grief needs to be shared, and grief needs to be validated. And I got to have that validation that I needed. I was able to share the holiday traditions with the family that I was with. So I was able, in that situation, in that instance, to move from grief to grace. And I just feel that as we continue to navigate the holidays, I'm so sorry, I lost my lighting. I think you can still see me. Oh, wow. Yes. But as we continue to go through, we've got another, let's see, we have Hanukkah, we have New Year's Eve, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas Eve, and then we have Christmas, and we also have Kwanzaa, New Year's Eve, and New Year's. So just give some thought to, I want you to give some thought to what you are feeling, what you may be anticipating can be a rough patch for you this holiday season. And maybe you haven't had time to even give it some thought, like, wow, I hadn't even thought about it. I just know that the holidays are here and we all have to experience them, but it's up to us how we choose to experience them. So if you have some time, just give it some thought, especially if you've had a recent loss, and even if it hasn't been recent. You know, my mother made her transition about 10 years ago, and I am dreading Christmas. I am dreading Christmas. And it's like, what am I going to do? What do I want to do on Christmas Day for my mom, to remember my mom? And I just know that when my mom was alive and her birthday was on Christmas, and the first thing when you called her, you could not say Merry Christmas. You had to say Happy Birthday. So I think those would be the first words that I utter when I wake up on Christmas morning. I better put a note beside my bed. My memory is not what it used to be, but just Happy Birthday, Gladys. And have a smile, light a candle. I will have a little altar for her to remember her birthday. The other is my sister's death anniversary on the 17th of December. That's another tough one. So I'm making a plan. I don't know right now what it is that I'll do for that day, but I am giving it some thought so that it doesn't catch me off guard, and that I can feel like I have some control of what's going to happen on that day, that I get to be in control. So just give it some thought, give it some thought. We're all in this together. And do you have any friends that you can call on? That's another way of moving through grief. Do you have some friends that you can call on? I was just looking this morning. I just got an email from, it's davidkessler.com, David Kessler, KESSLER.com. And he's a grief educator as well. He's the person that I received my grief certification through, a grief educator certification through. And he's offering a 3-day free holiday support workshop, a 3-day workshop to help people move through the holiday. And it's absolutely free. So look around. If you're having a rough time, if you're having a tough time right now with getting through the holiday, there are online has I think it's time that we start to use our devices and using these online tools to our advantage, to help us heal, to help us feel whole and nurtured again. So do that. You owe that to yourself. You're so worthy of having support through these holidays. I am a grief coach as well. I am here for you. I'm a grief coach. As I said, a certified grief educator. Would be honored to work with you and hold you as you are navigating these turbulent waters. And so I thought I would give a suggestion. This is going to be our tip for the day. And our tip for today, or action for today, to get us through, one of the things that you can do to get through the holidays that you may find helpful, and that is music as a healing balm. Okay, music can be a balm, but a healing balm, but the type of music you feel you can listen to. Okay, you choose what you like, not what anybody else dictates is the best thing to know. You choose whatever music you like. How about making a playlist of your favorite songs? And it doesn't have to be just Christmas songs, or it could be your playlist of your favorite Christmas songs. If that doesn't get you too melancholy, if that brings you joy, or just whatever music you like. Do you like upbeat party music? Go for it. Latino salsa music. Yes, do that as well. And here's what I want to offer too. I don't know if you've ever had this happen. Sometimes I just want to cry. Sometimes I want to cry. Have you ever been in that place? Oh, I really need to cry. You can just feel that. If you could just cry, it would massage your solar plex, which can bring you a sense of relief. So, and you can't cry. But is there a piece of music that you can put on that allows you to cry? Is there? Think about that. Because you could put that on and you could just be in your cups, because tears are cleansing. Tears are healing. They're not to run away from, or feel that, oh, I don't want to go down that road and I'll never stop crying. The truth is you will stop crying. And when you do stop crying, believe me, there is relief on the other side of that. When I did the training with some Ukrainian women about 2 years ago, I got a letter from one of the women afterwards saying how after our class ended, it was a 3-week workshop, and she said after the class ended, that night, she said she cried so hard that she'd never cried that hard in her life. She cried that night, just like a newborn baby, just cried. And then she said, on the next morning when she woke up, she felt such a lightness of spirit that she has never felt in her life, that she felt truly light. And I have another friend who recently went to a big grief ritual. And she said it was sad. She didn't cry like she thought she would cry, but she said she went and there was some sadness, but she moved through the sadness. And she said the next morning that she felt a weight had been lifted. So honoring our feelings, the sad feelings, can lead to exactly what we want, is that joyous state. But it's like having to go through that to navigate that, to get to the other side. I always have loved that expression. Something wonderful is on the other side. So you owe it to yourself to try it. You owe it to yourself to just feel into your feelings. And I can guarantee you, the more you just lean into little by little bit by little bit, maybe it's just 5 minutes today that you were able to lean into your sadness, maybe 10 minutes tomorrow. But little by little, it does start to lift. It does start to lift. And that's where I said our music can be that healing balm. So you can put on some music if you want to be sad and melancholy. Nobody is judging you. Your grief is your grief. And even if it's the same song that you just want to play over and over and over again, the same album, you do it. You do whatever helps you move from grief to grace. So I want you to, today, the tip that I'm giving you is let music be a part of the healing balm to move you from grief to grace. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening to that part of it. And I want you to, and if you do try it, let me know. Let me know what song you came up with that was your favorite, and what song you used if it was a sad song, and how that affected you. So before I sign off, I just want to talk to you a little bit about, I am offering a grief relief retreat right here in Mexico. And it's going to be February 14th through the 17th. I mean, what a great day to start this Hearts and Healing retreat. What a great day. It's Valentine's Day, so indicative of hearts and healing and love, and the joy and beauty of life, and the joy and beauty of love. So that'll be, as I said, February 14th through the 17th. And I just have a little video that Joe will show that lets you see the area that we'll be holding the retreat in. Good morning. I am so fortunate to be lakeside, Lake Chapala, lakeside. This is just a snippet. This is just some of the beauty of Lake Chapala. I am going to be hosting a retreat here in February. What a tranquil place. What a beautiful location to come, to be restored, to be rejuvenated, and to be loved, so that you can begin your healing journey from grief. Thank you, Joe. And we have a comment, Joe, from Rachel Running. It's been a long time, Rachel. It's so good to see your comment today. And she says, hello from your amiga on the border. Yes, I have an amiga on the border, and so happy to see you again. And yes, the music. I played the music my mom loved as we walked her home. Songs from the musicals. I want to come join. Oh, she wants to come join me in Chapala. Oh, she was playing musicals, and I thought there was a musical entitled I Want to Come Join You in Chapala. Oh, my darling dearest, I will touch bases with you in just a little bit here. So thank you so much, and so glad that you're safe on the border. I've not heard from Rachel in a while. So thank you so much for that. Musicals, yes, musicals. I'm trying to think. I just have a wide range of music that I love. My husband's Cuban, so I love Cuban music. That is so upbeat and joyous. There's no way you can listen to that music and not feel joy. Or you would have to be unalive to not be moved by Cuban music. But I also like music by Diva Prema. You know, it just has that haunting quality, and there are multiple chants. And anyway, music has that ability to alter your level of consciousness without you're doing anything but just listening. So, and I wanted to just add, my book is definitely available on Amazon, and it's entitled Blindsided by Grief. And I share with you 5 steps to start your healing journey in the book. So it may be just a wonderful gift that you want to give to someone for Christmas, or maybe you just want it yourself, even if you're not celebrating Christmas. You may just want to share that, have it as a reference book, a resource manual in your library. So, wow, thank you all so much for being here today. And again, honoring my little Oliver, this candle. My heart feels content right now. So here's what I want you to do. I just want you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your navel, just connecting your heart and mind, your brain, that heart math theory of heart coherence, where we're connecting our heart with our brain. And our hand on our navel connects us to our essence of who we are. And I just want you to take a deep breath in as you're just holding these two power places, these two powerful points in your body. And I just want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And just ask, what do I need today to help move through my grief? What do I need today to move through my grief? And whatever comes up, I want you to honor that. I want you to honor what comes up. And if you're not feeling that you want to move, that you're needing to know what you need to move through your grief, you could always ask, what does my soul want me to know today? What does my soul want me to know today? Or what does my grief want me to know today? So with that, I say thank you. I say namaste until we're together again. And continue to take good care of yourself during this holiday season. Oh, and I just had a flash on. No is a complete sentence. If there are things that you're not agreeing to, no is a complete sentence. So with that, I say thank you. And until we're together again, namaste.